Good day everyone. Welcome to another Coreldraw tutorial for aspiring graphic designer. Alright, I'm going to take this tutorial as if you're very new to Coreldraw, that is, you're not used to Coreldraw at all. Okay, so once you launch your Coreldraw software, I will just minimize my window so you can see how to go about that. Is either you double click on the Coreldraw phone icon, or you just click on the Windows button, which is this button right here. And once you click on the Windows button, just click on Coreldraw, and that should pop up. So I just click on this, it will definitely open, though I don't want to do that because I have it open here already. So once you open the Coreldraw, if you're using Coreldraw 12, Coreldraw, let me say from 7, from Coreldraw 7, 9, 12, X3, you won't have something like this when it opens. It will just open a new document instead of having this environment. So, but if you're using X5, X7, or any of the later version, it will start with this, except you disable this to on the startup. You can also disable this if you don't want that, but I always want this to show up because I kind of like it like this. So I click on new document, and I don't need to set anything in my paper size. The only thing I need to set here is the resolution of my design. I want my design to be very sharp, as in very clear, not something that will be blurry when I zoom in or when I zoom out. So I want to keep the resolution to 400 pixels. So that's the only thing I'm going to be changing here. So then I'm going to click on the OK button at the lower part, or I just click on enter. Do you get it now? So if you click on do not show this dialog, whenever you open Coreldraw, it will bring you through this dialog to just take it to a new document blank page. So you get it now. So I'm just going to click on enter button, and I'm going to have my new page set up. All right, the first thing you need to know is this environment, or this white area, is what we call our working environment. Or in, for example, in Microsoft Excel, we have what we call worksheets. Do you get it now? So this is our working environment. This is where you can place your object, do a lot of things. All right, let me quickly introduce you to the toolbar section. If you have not watched the video on that already, this is our toolbar area. This is our color palette where we can pick our colors. You get it? This is where we can pick our colors. All right, so this is our toolbar. For this particular design, okay, this is what we'll be designing. Actually, let me quickly show you what we'll be achieving in this design. Let me just quickly open this up, or let me just go to recent design. Alright, this is what we're going to be designing in this tutorial. Let me just zoom this up. So this is what we want to design in this tutorial. I'll be taking you through how to go about this from the beginning to the end. Okay, alright, so let's get started. Alright, now this is what we have to design. Excuse me please, I need to be sure this is okay. This is what we need to design. So without wasting our time, let's quickly get to the work. Alright, this is my new page. So what I'm going to do actually is I'm going to click on the rectangular button once. So once I move my mouse, you can see that I'm having the rectangular tool. If I decide to click on, let's say, a different tool, this polygon tool, you see that polygon tool is selected, but we don't need that. So I'll go back and select my rectangular tool. So once I do that, I hold on my left click part of the mouse, the left part of the mouse, I hold on it, then I drag. So then I just drop my mouse. So I have this. This is not the size I actually want. This is not the size I want actually. So I'm just going to click outside here. I'm clicking on this side. So then I'll come here and change my units to fit. I want to make my design in some fit length. So I'm going to click on this rectangular tool that I've drawn. You can see that these points are showing, which means that it has been selected. Okay, maybe I forgot to explain that. Let me quickly do that again. I'm going to delete this, then I'm going to click on this again, and just like I've said, I'll press and hold the left part of my mouse, and I'll drag and just drop. So then I'm going to actually click on excuse me, the pick tool. So that's what I forgot to explain. Then I'll click outside here, just click anywhere here, then I'll change this my unit to fit. Okay, then I select this rectangular tool. Then the size for our design is 1.5 by 1.5 feet. So then I click on the enter button. So you can see it is now bigger and I can't really see what I'm doing. So just click on this zoom tool and right click on any part of your design area. So you can always click on your left click and highlight this portion to bring it up, or on your keyboard you press F4. If on your keyboard you're having FN button, there is a button FN just between the control key and the window key. So if you are having FN on your key, then you need to press FN and F4 to actually zoom up. Excuse me please. But if you're not having FN key on your keyboard, it means that your keyboard is the standard key. So you just need to click on F4 to zoom it up to this level, and you can click F3 to actually bring it down, to restore it down, or FN F3 if your keyboard is having FN. So I'm just going to go back to F4. So this is what I have for my design. So then another thing I want to do is I want to create another section in my design, which is this black region. If you look at this black area, sorry, let me just quickly show you this. You can see this black area. So I just want to create that. So to do that, I'll come back to my design. There are 3 to 4 ways to go about that, but I'm going to go by the simple approach so that you won't have to stress yourself as a beginner. So the first thing you need to do is come to edit option, click on copy. What that will do is it will create a copy of this rectangular shape that we have already. So then you come back here and click on paste. So which means that we are now having 2 of this same shape all over each other. So now the next thing you do is look at this point at the top, drag it down. Okay, you just want it to be at this level. So if I apply any color to this, which I'm going to apply black, you can see that we have this black area and we have this that is not having color. Alright, without wasting our time, I'm going to apply color to this other section too. If you look at when I click on this, the black side is selected. When I click on this is selected. So I'm going to go over this again for the sake of those that are just starting up with Coreldraw, in case you don't get that. So I'm just going to delete this black layer. This is the action that we have, which is 1.5 by 1.5. So what you want to do is you want to come to this and click on copy. After you have copied, you want to go back here and click on paste. If you don't want to do it that way, you can just right click on the one you have before, then click on copy, then go back here and click on paste. You still do this. So you have 2. Then you want to drag this down to a particular level, then we want to apply black color to it. Okay, so that's been done. For this bigger rectangle, we are going to apply 10% black as our color, as our background color rather. So and this is 10% black actually. Yeah. Okay, and the next thing I want to do is I want to remove this black line surrounding this, the biggest circle. We call it outline. So how do I do that? It is possible that your color palette is not at the lower part of your working area like this. It's possible that it's at this side. The very first button you always have there is this one. So you just right click on it, then to remove that. You can see that is gone already. Alright, the next thing we want to do is in case you don't know how to get this 10% black, it's always the color before white in your color palette. But if you want to get that by actually coding the color yourself using the RGB formula, which is the red, green, blue. So all you just have to do is come to this palette, double click on this color that is here, then let me just drag it to the screen. You can just input 230, 230, 230 as your input color. If I decide to change any of these value to 56 for example, you see that my color has actually changed to another color. If I actually change this to 78, you see that my color has changed. So that is just how we code different color. Okay, the next thing we want to do now is we need the images we'll use for our design, and just like I've explained in the last class on how to remove background from your images, I'm not going to be doing that here. I just want to take you through a website that will give you, excuse me please, that will give you the image without background, so you have less stress. So let's quickly go to our browser. Before that, you want to make sure that you are connected to the internet, so which I'm going to do now. So I'm going to connect my system to the internet. So then I'm going to go onto my browser. Okay, so I'm going to type png egg. So pngegg.com, just follow that link. Oh. So you wait for this to load up. So I'm just going to pause this video to make that load up. So now the website has actually loaded up. So I want to click on this search button, then I'm going to be typing Perfume there. So because that is what I'm actually looking for, so I'll just type Perfume Then I'll click on the search icon. Then it will give me pictures of you can see it says PNG egg. PNG is a type of image format whereby the background is not actually in the image. So is a I cannot use the word background, yes, it doesn't make sense. So it's a type of image that doesn't have background at all. So I'm just going to type perfume. Then I'm going to click on this search icon. Now it has actually loaded up. It will give you varieties of perfume, different body spray and all of that. I already have the images I'm going to be, or we are going to be using for this design, but for the sake of explaining how you can actually download it also, I'm just going to click on any one of this. So I just click on this, it will open a new tab. So I just, now once the image fully loads up, you want to scroll down a bit. Don't mind my system will be kind of slow for now because I'm running multiple applications at the same time and I'm doing some background work at the same time. So you just click on this download. So it might actually take you to human verification panel, asking you to confirm that you are human. So it will ask you to select some numbers or letters, and you just have to do that. Okay, just click on this. Then it will ask you to select some letters or word in the right order that it has, in this order. So I'm going to select C first. This is C. Then I go to 2. This is 2. Then I come to K. Then lastly I come to H. So once you have selected that correctly, the image will pop up and ask you to download the image. So just wait for it. Alright, so I'm going to give my image this name. Please make sure that you know the particular place you are saving your image. For example, I'm going to be saving it in this perfume folder, and I'm going to have it saved here. If you are not sure of where to save your image, it's best you select desktop. In that way, when you minimize, okay, let me just save this for now. So in that way, when you select desktop, you can always have your image somewhere around here, so it will be easier for you to actually find that image. So let's get on with our design, since I have explained how you can get images without background. Okay, I will open the folder where the image is so that you can see that I have my images set already, so you can go on and download more of those images. So I'm going to Dion's, then from Dion's to this, and alright, you can see I have different type of perfume or um, roll-on or body spray. I have different ones here. So these are the exact one I use in my previous design. So I will just minimize this for now. So the next thing I want to do is if you look at E, we have this image here, and I need to zoom up so you can see what I'm saying. So I have a particular placeholder where these two perfumes are sitting on. So I just want to look for that image for now. So now I want to locate the folder where my images are. So I'm just going to import all of them at the same time. I might have a slight difference between the images I used in the previous design and this, but don't worry. You're still going to achieve the same thing. So I just right click on any part in my working area, not on any of this, just outside, and I'll click on import. Then so it is always important that you know the folder where you save your images. If it is folder desktop folder, it will be very easy. You just want to click on it, you can have access to the images in the desktop. So it's always advisable as a beginner that you have your images in the desktop folder, but I don't have mine there. I have mine here. So I want to select some of the perfumes I'll be using and be using all of this. So all I have to do to select multiple images is to hold on my control key, the CTRL. So when I hold on to it, I can click on multiple images. I'm going to be using this in my design and this. Let's see if I will use this anyway. So the next thing I click on is import. So I can either just click on this to just drop them, or I can set a particular size for them, but let's just click anywhere here to drop them. Okay, now I want to resize this by dragging this end because it's too big and it's disturbing my workflow. So this is all what I need actually. So I want to remove all of these that might be disturbing the area I need to place that. So this is also big. I want to resize that. So just drop it somewhere there. I don't need it here also. So this is what I need. I need this. Okay, this is the first image I need. So I'm going to resize it also. I'm going to be a bit like this. Now this is okay. This is where I want it to be. Now I bring it down a bit. I can use my direction but key on the what's it called on the system, the arrow, the 4 arrow, up, down, left, right. I can use it to adjust it down a bit. Okay, now the next thing I want to do is I want to click on this black, then I'll right click on the black and come to order. Says bring to front of layer or front of page, anyone. So it will come to the front of this particular layer here, so I can have this here. So the next thing I want to do is I want to take this and drop it over here. Sorry, if you make a mistake while doing something and you need to go back to the earlier version of that, you can just use this button here. It's called undo, or you press Ctrl and Z on your keypad. For example, I don't want to place this here, I can just press Ctrl Z to undo that, or Ctrl Shift Z to redo that. So now this is supposed to be at the top here, but it's showing behind this image. So all I just have to do is right click on this and come to order and say bring to front of page. So you can see I'm having it now. So it looks as if it's sitting on this. Then I also want to add this, so I'll do the same thing. Or excuse me please, sorry, I'll click on this rather. So I'll click on order to front of page. So I have this two here. I can decide to resize this. It's becoming too big. Then I have this now. Okay, the next thing I want to do is excuse me, I want to pick one of these long one. I can decide to use this since I used the other one in the previous design. I can use this, but for some reason I don't want to use this because this one is having a kind of transparency that make it look like a glass layer, you can see. So I just want to have this. Then the next thing I will do is I will select everything on this area. Alright, I don't even want to do that, so I won't confuse it. So I'm going to delete this because I won't be needing it any longer. So I'll just right click and look for the delete button and delete that. Alright, the next thing I want to do is I want to draw my rectangular tool. I click on my rectangular tool, then I just draw any size. Then I can come over here and adjust the size. The size I actually want to have is 0.267 by 0.267. That's the perfect square shape. So I'm going to drag it and bring it here. So I'm going to give it an outline. What is an outline? Outline is this line that is around this shape. So I'm just going to increase the outline to 8. Okay, and for now let's just leave it like that. Then I'm going to drop some images inside that shape. For example, in a previous design we have this bottle E, so I can just locate that bottle. Remember to always use this to zoom down your work so you can see everything on the working area. So that particular perf is not there, so I just go back to import and look for it in my folder. Okay, I remember that it's somewhere else, not actually in this folder. So let's just do without that for now. I don't want to go through the stress of having to find it in the folder. So I'm just going to make do with what I have. So I'm going to use this. I resize it. So now I right click on this image, click on power click inside, then click on one of these black edges. So it makes the perfume to go inside this box. Let me do that again. Let me just undo. I right click on this, I click on power click inside, and I click on one of these edges. So when I give this color, for example, you can see that is being applied. Okay, but before I do that, I want to duplicate this layer. Okay, let me just follow that long method by saying copy, then go back here and paste. So now I'm going to hold my control key. The reason why is so that I can drag it to the left in the same line. if my control key is not selected, I can move it around anyway, but I want my control key to be selected, then I just do this. Another way you can do that is, if you don't get the control key of the thing, is to, okay, now that it has been pasted, just use your arrow direction key, just move it to the front. You can see. So until you actually get to where you actually want to move it, but that's a long method. So you just need to learn how to do that by holding control and dragging. So the next thing I want to do is, I want to curve the edges of this. I select my shape tool, then here I come here and I add some values, which is 0.0173 by, so I have this. So this is what I want to have, and I want my outline to be white, just like you can see. I want it to be white. Okay, so the next thing I will do is I power clip this inside this. So this is inside this already. If I change the color, you will see that it's already inside of that frame. So I'll just leave this color for now, so that it can be visible to you, so that you can see that we have a particular shape there. So next, I want to zoom up again, right click, okay. So I think I need to actually look for the other images, because I don't have the one I want to use here. So let me quickly look for that image. Alright, now I have successfully moved the images to the right folder where I can easily see it. So let's just go on now. So I right click and click on import. Sorry, just need to right click outside here, import, then I can come back to our user folder. I'm just waiting for this to load up so I can. Alright, this is the image I'm looking for, and this. So I just click on import, then I'll import them here. So I'm just going to right click on this, just like I did the other time, power click inside, and I'm going to select this frame. So you can see that it's set already. Assuming this is not actually set the way you want it, I can just click on this pencil to select my zoom to highlight this area, then I can adjust as I want this. So I want this to be shown very well. So once I'm done, I click on this. So alright, so we have that section already. So the next thing I want to do is, I want to select these two sections and I want to shift it up a bit. I want to shift this up a bit. Then I want them to come closer. Okay. Alright. So that is set. So the next thing I'm going to do is, I'm going to duplicate this layer. I'll select them just like I've highlight. Click with your left click button and drag over them. Then while holding your control key and your left key, drag down and right click. So another way to achieve that is, click on this, do copy and paste, copy, go back and paste that. So you just drag down with holding your control key, so you have that second layer. So now you can change the images that are in this you can change that. So I'm going to remove the color, don't need that color, and I want the outline to be white. So I want the outline to be white. Then I'm not using this image this time around. I'm going to be using this. So I right click on this, or I click inside and I click on this. So you can see I have it, but it's not centered. So I have to select my zoom tool, So I'm going to drag it to the edge and expand this. So in this way now it is very good. So I zoom down using F3 or FN F3. So then the next thing is I want to change this one also, but before we do that, okay, another thing I want to explain is the font that I use in this design. I'm very sure you don't have it in your system, so for you to download that font, I'll take you through how to do that once I'm done with this design, but let's just go on for now. So the next thing I want to do is I want to import the logo. So I have the logo somewhere already, so I'm just going to use the normal imports. I'm just going to use the imports to bring in the logo. So I will quickly do that now. So this is my logo. So you can have any logo you want to use for your design. So the next thing I want to do is I want to type in my text. I'm going to use a normal text now, which is area. Every system has the font area. So I'm just going to type my business name. I drag it in, then I just make it bigger a bit. Just leave it like that. Alright, before we consider other section, we want to look at the section that talks about what this business is about. So to do that, click on the rectangular tool, draw any preferred size like this. Alright, just select your pick tool. So now I'm going to call this front area. So by coming here, I'll just add this value here, 81, 81. Sorry, 81. So you can see what we have. We have the front curved. So the next thing is I want to adjust this size. This size is going to be 343 by, so this is just what I need here. So then let me quickly do this also. I'll just use the default font for now, then I will explain how you can change that. Alright, you asked me how do I duplicate that text. All I just have to do is drag it and drop it with a right click, or you just right click and copy, then Ctrl V to paste. So I can just do this, press Ctrl C, then press Ctrl V, then I have a copy of it. Ctrl C is to copy, Ctrl V is to paste. So I just want to change this to Perfumes. So and I want my font size to be 39. Alright, so I'm going to highlight this. I'll shift it up for now. So I'm going to drag and drop this so I can make a copy with right click. Just like I've explained, you can do this. I'll delete this now. You can just do this, Ctrl C, then Ctrl V with paste that, then you just drag it down holding your Ctrl key so that it will be in line. So then you drop it. So then I want to have this again towards the back a bit. Then I'm going to drag and drop this E. Then I'm going to bring this down a bit. Then I don't like the space. Sorry, I need to resize this. Is disturbing my work. So I don't like the space in A. Yeah, I want something like that. Then I want them to come down a bit. Okay, the next thing is I want to duplicate this other one. Ctrl R will repeat that for me, so I don't have to continue pressing Ctrl R all of the time. So I want to bring them up a bit and towards the back. Sorry. Alright, just like I've explained in the um, other part, that when you need the font that was being used in this tutorial, to get this font, all you have to do is connect with the internet again, and just go through your browser and just go to Google search, or just type here download, sorry, download, sorry, I forgot the name of the font. Alright, let's go back to our browser. So I'll just type download sweet strawberry font. So we just wait for this to load up. Alright, so we just click on this first link. So when you click on this first link, it's going to open. So I'll show you how to download and install the font on your system, though I'm not going to install it because I already. So to download it, we just click on this download button and it should start in a few seconds. So now just click on the save button, and now once the font has been downloaded, you want to open it. So this is still downloading, so you just have to wait for it. So okay, now this has fully downloaded, so you just click on open. Make sure you have the WinRAR software installed on your system already. If not, you won't be able to access this folder. So just double click on this font, then you should see the install button. Alright, this is what I will do for my sake. I'll just show in folder where the font is actually downloaded. I want to open the folder. So alright, so this is what I'll do. I'll right click on this, then I'll click on extract files, this one. So it's going to extract the file to the folder. Then I'll just, sorry, not this, let's go back to the folder at the top. So I'll just open the folder, then I'll right click on this, then I'll select install. So once I click on install, it will show the windows and pop up. You just need to click yes to accept to install that. Then after that is done, you can see it says this has already been installed on my system. I want to replace it. I don't need to do that, so I'll just click on no. I don't need to install it. But in your case, it just install directly. So I'll just close this folder because I don't need this for now, and I'll just proceed with our design. So that's the same way you download the other font. The other font in our design is um alright, the other font in our design is Franklin Stone. I don't know if it is available here, but let's just see. Franklin Stone. Just click enter. If this is not available, you just go through Google like we did in the first place. Then you find the store, the font, install, download it rather, and install. So alright, they don't have this font, so I'll just go to Google and just say download So you can download it from the first one. Just click on the link, then it will open, then you download from the link. So after you've downloaded out, you just need to install and use it where necessary in your design. So I'm not going to go through that because I've already explained how to go about downloading it. So just to save time, I'll just show you if you're using this link. uh, so you just click on the download Franklin's stone font, or you use this download button. Either of them will download the font for you, so you can have that. So once you download and install that, you have it in your design and available for use. So now let's get back to our design. I'm going to change all of these fonts to Franklin Stone. I'm going to change all of this to Franklin Stone. So let's come here and do that. Okay, now and then I want to customize my text. I'm not going to be having perfume all through. I'm going to be having body spray. I'm going to be having body mist, deodorant. So I'm just going to reduce the size of this because this is longer text, so I'm going to take it to 32, font of 32 instead of 39 for the other ones. So then these other ones, I want to make them left aligned. So then this will be also Franklin, and it's going to be perfume oil, so perfume. Okay, now let's quickly apply the outline. For this one, I'm going to add this as outline. For this, sorry, not that. For this, I'm going to apply an outline, and my outline is going to be 8 pixel. So, or I can just make use of 6 pixel. Okay, I think 6 is cool. So I click on this and I press Ctrl R. Then I do the same for all of these. Just so I just click on Ctrl R. So it applied the same size of outline to all of them. So I just want to alternate the outline color so that I can have it just like we have in our other design. Alright, now that is set. So the next thing I want to do now is I want to change this to my kind of golden color. This is the color I used. Then we want to have fragrance and perfume. Okay. So I'm going to change this to okay. Now I'm going to change the color. Now I'm going to apply an outline of black, and the outline is going to be 8. How do I go about that? Just press F12 on your keypad, or you press FN F12 if you are using a keyboard that has FN. So increase the outline to 8, select behind and scale. Okay, then the color, you just click on this, which means that it's not going to be having any color. So we want to reduce the outline. The outline is too much as per 8. I'm just going to take it to 4, then click on OK. So we have this now. So now I'm going to take the color to white. I'm going to give it white color so that this can increase the outline to maybe 6 or 8. Okay, oh, that is settled already. So we have this section, the last part that we want to add here is I just want to adjust this E, then I want to add this also towards this bit, and this towards this direction. Okay, so the next thing I want to do now, I want to click on my ellipse 2, then I draw a circle, then it has a white background. Okay, So I just want to save myself the time, and I will just copy and paste this one. Then I'll edit it to we are into says off. So just click enter for each part that you want to break down. Excuse me. So now we want our text to be centered aligned. So you just come in and select center. So then you come back here, just drag it in and adjust to the size that you actually want. Then I think we are good to go. Okay, so you can give it any color you want, and you can increase the outline if you want. I can give you this outline and increase it to outline of maybe 2, 3, 4. So alright, let's just leave that away. So now let's Fn F4 or just F4 depending on the keyboard you're using. So the next thing I want to do now is I want to make this bigger. Then I want to power click it inside my design. So I just right click on it and click on the power click, and I click on this frame so that this other part will not be showing outside of my design. So I want to do the same thing for all of my design. Alright, before we go into that, I want to design the contact section. So I'll just click copy one of this text and bring it here. So I'm just going to double click to edit it. So I have 09099008877. So that's the number I will use for this design. So give it white color so that it can show on this layer, then make it bigger. Okay. Alright, the other thing we want to type about is the other thing we want to type in. So for the other section, you just want to add the other text. So I won't waste my time doing this since you already understand how to go about typing or adding text. So I'll just copy and so you can see I've done that already. Then you might be wondering how I added my icon. There are two ways to go about that. You can go to Google and download PNG icons for social media, since these are social this, or another way you can do is to download an app called Picon. So then you can be able to add your icon for any of this. So just duplicate this and I'll edit. So I'll duplicate this also. So I'll just edit the content. Alright, let me just quickly explain this. How do I get this inside this circle? What I did actually is I click on the ellipse tool, then I draw a circle. Okay, I give it a white background. Then I go to any folder or any directory where my icon is, then I drag and copy it. For my case, I'll be using an app that I actually installed. So I'll just pick my icon from there and drag it to my working area. So this is what I will do.